you know, some of these pictures that we've seen in some of the videos, and you know, it's a tornado when it's touching the ground. Some of the videos, the tree line is kind of blocking that.
And that's the tricky part. You have to see the circulation at the surface, or the funnel actually intersecting the ground. And usually you would see some movement there, whether it would be leaves or dust or something being kicked up into the air. You don't always have the condensation funnel. It's not always, you know, full of dust either. So you don't always necessarily see the air spinning, but as long as there's a circulation at the surface, that counts. Now, this right here certainly does appear to be a full-fledged tornado in progress. Even though you can't see the exact surface, you get the sense. Wall cloud right there, and then the tornado coming down from that wall cloud. Some scud over here, so just some fragmented clouds from the low-hanging cloud base here. And what you would also be looking for when you see this scud is you look for the motion that way in front of the wall cloud and that way in the back to really get the idea that it is a wall cloud. It's a rotating mesovortex going up there, so a smaller scale spin and then a smaller but tighter, more violent spin would be the tornado itself. All right, so that's one of the pieces of video here in Illinois. Here's another one in Wrights where Jackie was telling us multiple tornadoes caught on camera. This one of more possibly the same tornado with different angles, different people getting the shot here. Now, the wall cloud's not as obvious here. It's not that classic look, but you certainly can tell that there is some of that circulation going up, that counterclockwise swirl with the tornado, with some of the fragmented clouds. And at this point, you see the funnel stops right there, but doesn't necessarily mean there's not circulation. This could still possibly be a tornado in progress at the moment. And really, you can see how it just looks different from the rest of it. That dark condensation going all the way down to at least the tree line, possibly beyond that. If you see this here and it looks like it's heading your way, you want to get into cover and find a safe location as soon as possible. Same story here. This looks like it may be on the backside of its life cycle. Not always. So sometimes this is what the end of a tornado will look like, called roping out. It starts to look more like a rope instead of an obvious funnel that's tapered toward the top. But again, in this case, still, if it's connected to the surface, there's circulation down there, it would be, of course, a tornado. So just looking at those three pieces of video, you can tell tornadoes come in a variety of sizes and different shapes as well. The largest, and typically the most violent and dangerous, an Ef5. Storm tracker Jim Cantori shows us how these massive tornadoes can tear a town apart.
This is called a wedge tornado because it is wider than it is tall. They can be more than a mile across, sometimes even more than 2 miles across. Imagine that thing coming at you with 200-mile-per-hour winds. This is a deadly Ef5. Lights? Yeah, they're starting to flicker now. We're about to get hit. This is as bad as it gets. I'm grabbing my helmet and I'm taking shelter now.
This guy's crazy. By the way, this is not real. This is just an advertisement.
Unbelievable. Absolute, utter destruction. A sea of destruction as this area took a direct hit while we were away in our storm shelter. This is classic Ef5 damage. People's lives have been changed forever. And although rare, these types of tornadoes and this type of destruction are a reality for this country.
Hopefully we don't see anything that big, not expecting it to be that big, but we could have some strong ones with the storms that are expected. There is that threat for tornadoes tonight and into tomorrow. So if you have a way to get alerts, it could save your life. Make sure you do have a way to get alerts, especially knowing the fact that a lot of this may be happening after dark while you might be trying to get some sleep. As bad as it sounds, or as, as bad as it sounds, you don't want to be, having a sleepless night, but it's better, of course, than the alternative, which would be not getting the warning. Here's the thunderstorms that are expected through the evening and then during the overnight hours, and then pushing off into the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes during the day tomorrow.
Restructured.
The U.S. are at risk.
Portions of